blood through the arteries.
Why would they stretch?
So that more blood can run through.
Right, but there's what? The P word inside there, like in a garden hose. Pressure. Now, proteins deal with the blood type, right?
Yeah.
When the blood passes through, the walls relax. This regular stretching and relaxing of the artery walls
This
is
is called, with a P,
Oh.
pulse.
called pulse. You can feel the pulse of an artery in your wrist. Feeling your pulse is one way of seeing how fast your heart is beating.
Different kinds of vessels carry blood back to the heart. These are called veins. Veins are thinner and less muscular than arteries. Blood moves through the veins because muscles in your arms and legs squeeze the veins, forcing blood through valves or gates. When muscles relax, these valves slam shut, preventing blood from flowing backwards away from the heart.
Arteries and veins are linked
Hey,
by
what
a
are
network
those?
of tiny blood.
What are those? Okay, but like this area here I'm referring to. What? Capillaries. And what's that process that takes place in between the capillaries? Begins with a D. High concentration to low concentration. That's
Diffusion.
right, very good.
Vessels called capillaries. Almost every cell in the body lies next to a capillary. The walls of capillaries are very thin, only one cell thick.
Do you ever wonder why, if you get slapped or popped, your skin turns red? Or why people, when embarrassed, their cheeks turn red? It's because the capillaries are right there and they get filled with blood. Okay, it's not like your skin actually turns red. It's actually the capillaries that are filling up with blood.
Because these walls are so thin,
Yeah, it's just a reaction.
oxygen food can easily pass from the blood through the capillary walls and into cells. At the same time, waste, such as carbon dioxide, can pass out of the cells into the capillaries. Capillaries are so small that they can only be seen with the help of a microscope. But together with arteries...
Ooh, and that's kind of what you're going to see tomorrow with the fish tail. You're going to take a goldfish. You're going to wrap it in wet cotton. Don't worry, I'm going to go over this again tomorrow. So the goldfish will come out of the tank, wrapped in wet cotton to keep it alive. It'll stay alive, and you're going to have a timer with you for approximately like 2.5 minutes. You can't really go past that because then you're going to stress the fish and kill it. The tail will stick out, kind of like a sandwich. You ever make a sandwich and the bologna or cheese or whatever hangs out?
Yeah.
Okay, well the tail's going to stick out, and that's the part that you're going to look at under the microscope. You will use a petri dish, not a glass slide, so that there'll be some water in there for the fish. The tail might flop a little bit, so that's the fish's reaction. We'll talk about how to try and take care of that. But you'll slide the whole thing under low power. That's all you'll need. Do not put high power, you'll crush the fish. So low power, all right? Once you're done, you put the fish back in a tank that we've used the fish. There'll be 2 tanks there. Mr. Romano, we didn't get a chance to finish. That's okay. You'll grab another goldfish and do the 2.5 minute process again. So if you don't get to see what you're supposed to, that's okay. I'll even have the other microscope set up if you're having trouble. And what you're going to see under the microscope is this type of situation in which blood cells are flowing, but at a slower rate, because goldfish hearts are not as big or as strong as a human heart. Make sense? Good.
and veins, they form a network so vast that if all the blood vessels in the body were lined up end to end, they would stretch for tens of thousands of miles.
So again, you'll see something like that, but a little
Let's
bit
take
slower. Oh, no, we're not going to see you again. Right. Let's go to...
What's your number? Okay, dude, what's your number? Dude, what's your number?
This deals with CSI. I like this one.
Evidence of who solved the crime. But police need to know what clues to look for and what to ignore. In large metropolitan areas, forensic experts handle the process. But what about in
What's my
smaller
number?
rural areas? Well, that's when a
410.
crash course in blood spatters is called for.
So those of you that are moving on to maybe a CSI field, this would be good for you to pay attention to.
In a classroom at the Criminal Justice Institute at the University of Arkansas, several crimes are taking place.
Okay, dude.
As long as shoot this young lady in the neck.
questions are forensic expert Paulette Sutton and her accomplice Steve Nichols.
So they're gonna simulate a
Standards
crime.
erecting massive cardboard rooms, then defacing them with
600.
blood is unusual. Somebody has to do it.
5'4".
You probably had to have a very
600.
sick mind, a couple of sticks and knives, a
5'4".
bucket of blood, and just get in there and
5'4",
put
6'4".
them down. Sometimes we have a plan, sometimes it's a recreation of a scene that we've already worked. A lot of times it's simply a matter of how diabolical I feel today.
Yeah, text me.
A little more beaten down there.
Although Paulette jokes about her day job, her reasons for recreating these bloody scenarios are no laughing matter. They'll actually be investigated by real police officers with varying degrees of experience.
Even the experienced
So based on the blood splatters, they have to figure out what the crime was.
Someone sit down and show them why blood does what it does, how it's going to appear at a crime scene.
That's why Paulette sprays, flicks, and even smears herself in animal blood to teach police officers the art of reading blood spatters. She herself has been investigating crime scenes for the last 20 years.
It is something that tells them where the next piece of evidence probably is.
Her students are mostly officers from small rural police forces that don't have a dedicated crime scene investigator on the team. The week-long course isn't long enough for them to become experts, but it is long enough to dispel a common misconception.
They've heard more absolutes. They've heard the stuff on CSI where it's always this way or it's always that way. This world isn't made of always anything.
Dude.
Good point. Okay, so that was just a little CSI bit I thought I'd give you. Interesting for
Looks funny.
jobs and careers. Okay, remember tonight's homework only to run off the lab. Get a copy. If you don't have a printer, get a copy. Have a nice day.
This is my locker.